Hello you guys, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Taylor. If you guys are new here, this is going to be the first video in my Wedding Wednesday series. I'm basically just going to house all of my wedding related content within a playlist called Wedding Wednesday. So make sure you guys subscribe and turn your post notifications on, because I don't think I'm going to post every single Wednesday, but anytime there's like specific wedding content that I want to put out there, like bridal shower, bachelorette, trying on wedding dresses, venue food tasting, stuff like that, it'll be all in the Wedding Wednesday series. So subscribe, stay tuned for all of those videos to come. But today's video, I thought I would give a more in-depth overview of where I'm at with wedding planning, what I've done so far. I did a little TikTok get ready with me talking about everything I've done so far, but it was like a minute, 2 minutes long, so it's gonna be a long video today, probably like 20 minutes long, so I hope you guys enjoy that. But I'm really gonna get into the little details of all that I've done, and I hope you guys like this kind of content. But honestly, I'm doing it mainly for me because it's such an exciting time right now for me and my fiance, and wedding planning, it's something we've been looking forward to doing for a very, very long time. By the time we get married, it'll be 13 years. So it's a long time coming, and I've had a lot of time to think about wedding things, but now I'm kind of refining all of the ideas in my head and what I actually want to do. So yeah, it's kind of just a video diary series for me, but also I figured it's super helpful content for other brides out there, other people just interested in wedding planning. They're not yet engaged. I know I watched so many wedding related videos before I was even engaged, so it kind of gave me an idea of what I'm gonna have to be doing and stuff like that. So even if you're not engaged, totally okay. But I hope you guys enjoy the wedding content. Grab a drink, grab a snack. This is gonna be a long video, like I said. Let's get into it. First thing I want to say is, any brides out there, wherever you are in the process, you're right on track, you're good, everything's gonna work out. Don't stress like the little details. If like it doesn't feel right between a vendor, don't go with them. Like all the vendors that I've chosen have for real felt like it for us, the one meant to be. And I laugh every time I look back feeling stressed about certain things, and I'm like, girl, why were you even stressed? Like, this is the reason why you didn't go with the other vendors, you know? So don't stress. And honestly, everybody's wedding is totally different. Try not to compare. People do big weddings, small weddings, destination weddings, all of that, or they just elope. So everybody's wedding's different, everybody's circumstances are different, and at the end of the day, you're marrying your best friend, the person you want to grow old with. And that is literally the best thing of all that'll come out of this wedding. So don't stress the little details, and yeah, you'll be good. You're doing great, sweetie. Let's jump into the first topic, which is venue. I hope I hit every point that I want to get across, but I didn't write down a specific list of all the details that I want to cover, so crossing my fingers. But let's talk about venue, how we found our venue, how many we toured. So let's start from the beginning. We got engaged on January 9th, 2023, and we toured our first venue actually 2 weeks later, on January 22nd. So that was kind of a quick turnaround for us, but honestly, we've been together for 12 years, so I was ready to get the show on the road, people. Something that was really helpful for me was I actually reached out to a list of venues prior to getting engaged, just to see how expensive things are within certain areas around where we live, what kind of packages are being offered. I thought I was gonna do a whole video about venue tours, but if I'm being honest, out of the 5 others that we toured, I only liked one. And I don't want to like talk about the cons of all the other places. They just weren't me and Christian's style. I couldn't see it being there, and it just didn't feel like me or him. One tip I would say is, when you're touring a venue, really try to envision, like, does this place feel like you and your partner. Because there was one venue that we were touring, my parents wanted us to see it, and my mom was like, I could envision a wedding here and all of that. And I was like, yeah, I can envision you guys getting married here and like renewing your vows here, but I can't see it for me and Christian. Like if I close my eyes and like I pictured me in my wedding dress, him in his suit or tux, whatever he decides to go with, it didn't feel like us. So if you don't feel that, then it's just not the venue for you, period. And I totally felt like all of the other ones that we toured just weren't us. And then finally we found our place on the 6th tour. I will say there was one that I actually did like, and there were a little bit of signs of like, okay, this could be our venue. Our anniversary date was open. I thought that would be kind of cute. The lady that we were talking to, like her husband and her kids went to the same high school as Christian, so I was like, maybe this is the one. I'll put pictures and stuff of what this venue looks like. It doesn't look like the venue we chose, so it's not giving anything away, but I just think it's beautiful, and if you're in the Philly area and if it fits within your budget, you should check it out. But it's called Curtis Arboretum, and it was just a beautiful like garden vibe kind of venue. There was like a separate tent for dinner and then a ballroom for dancing, and the ballroom had this gorgeous hand-painted mural on the wall, and I was sold honestly from the ballroom. Like when me and Christian's mom toured this place, we walked straight into the ballroom first, and I was like, oh my god, I'm sold. So it was so pretty. Like I said in the intro, things work out for a reason, things are meant to be. And when we found our venue, there was like no stress about it. From the second we drove up and looked at the front of it, I was like, yep, love it already, love it already. This one feels like us. The price point is mwah. There's no venue fee, you guys, literally no venue fee. Only thing is like the food and beverage minimum per person cost, like stuff like that. The only extra added costs are like if you want to add certain food upgrades, lighting upgrades. Like we're gonna have our cocktail hour, I guess I can say this, we're gonna have our cocktail hour outside, and it's like on a beautiful patio, and you can choose to put string lights up, so we chose that, so that's an upgrade. So it's little things like that. But the fact that there was no venue fee, I was like, this is a beautiful venue, it feels like us. So signed, sealed, delivered, that place is ours. And I will say we are originally leaning towards a May date, but we actually chose a June date. They only had 2 dates left in June, so we're like, okay, if we want this place, we gotta put in the deposit and pick one of the dates. So we did. I'm not gonna tell you guys the actual date yet. I might announce it like on our year mark out and be like 365 days, something like that. But it is in June, so I'll leave it at that. That was literally like the biggest weight lifted off of our shoulders. Like I feel like the most stressful parts of wedding planning are literally in the front. Like you have to go through your guest list and have conversations with parents of like who should be invited, and stuff like that. And then also obviously securing a date and finding the venue. Like biggest things you have to check off or right in the beginning. So it was literally the greatest feeling checking those boxes off. The town that the venue is located in was so cute. So my parents and I and Christian went out to lunch afterwards and celebrated. It was super cute. The next topic I'm gonna get into is ceremony. There was 2 options that we could do. One, get married on our venue's property. They had a great rain plan, so didn't have to worry about things like that, but we actually decided to do a church ceremony. And one of the churches we were thinking about doing it at was the church that we grew up going to, and it's actually the church that my parents got married at, which is crazy. And I thought that would be really cute if I got married at the same church that my parents got married at, but it just didn't work out. The venue is 40 minutes away from our hometown church, so I personally thought that that distance was too long for me. At least I would want the ceremony location to be at least like 20 minutes or under from the venue location. So we went to the drawing board, reached out to another church that was like a town over from our venue. But they ended up saying like, we don't marry people outside of our parish, sorry. And we were like, all right, there's actually a church connected to Christian's high school. He went to a Jesuit high school and they have a church specifically for their school. So alumni can get married there. It's not open to the public or anything like that. So we had an in and we're like, all right, let's look into this. It was within like the parameters of what I was thinking about, like 20 minutes and less, but honestly it's gonna be an evening ceremony, and the traffic from leaving the city, which is where the Jesuit church was located, to our venue would kind of be like rush hour traffic time. Like that's when rush hour traffic would happen. So I was like, probably not. So let's look again. So then finally, you guys, another reason why things are meant to be. This one, you guys, with no traffic, 6 minutes away from our venue. 6 minutes. So perfect distance. It's probably gonna be more like 9 or 10 minutes away from our venue. But it's literally the perfect distance from our venue. And I called them and I talked to a lady and I was like, do you marry people outside your parish? Yes. And then I asked like, do you have our date open? And she was like, well, you're calling so early. So yes, we have your date open. Call me back when you're like 9 months out from your wedding. So I was like, perfect, we have a church. And actually another thing that's also great about this church is they're allowing us to bring in a priest to marry us. They obviously have their own priest at the church, but if we wanted to bring somebody from outside that's more personal to us or something, and they're like a legit priest, you can bring them if you want. So we're having the priest who actually married Christian's sister and brother-in-law, and he also married Christian's cousin back in May. So he's like in the family, he knows Christian's side of the family, he'll get to know my side of the family. He's such an awesome priest, he's super cool, and yeah, we think it's the perfect fit for us. And we actually have a call with the priest today at like 5:30ish, just to talk about like things that we're gonna have to gather, the documents, pre-Cana stuff. I don't know if any of you guys know about Catholic marriages and stuff like that, but stuff like that is what we're probably going to be talking about. Okay, now next on the list, entertainment. So I feel like Christian and I both decided from going to other weddings, we love the vibes of a live band. Love the vibes of them. So we've been to a couple weddings where we loved the bands. One being Christian's sister and brother-in-law. They use the band that we actually go to see every summer in Sea Isle. They play there. But recently they had a baby, so they only do like acoustic hour, cocktail hour sessions, and no longer like a full band. So we were like, dang, that didn't work out. But we also had another band in mind. We had such a great time at one of Christian's friends' weddings that they used this band for. And I cannot tell you how many times I told Christian that night, like, this band is awesome, this band is so fun, like, they're so good. Like, I kid you not, everybody was on the dance floor the whole entire time. So when it came time to reach out to another band, I was like, we need to reach out to them because they were so good. So luckily they were open for a date and they gave us a really good deal. So put the deposit in for them, and that is checked off our list. One thing about them too is they'll do a keyboardist like cocktail hour session, and then the full band, and they also have their own DJ that they'll bring. So like when bands go on breaks and stuff like that, like there'll still be music playing, which is really nice. So excited for our entertainment. I can't wait to like boogie on the dance floor. Okay, now let's get into photography, videography. Videography, I was pretty set on using one of my friends from Temple. She does videography with a team, so I was like, I want you to do our wedding. So that was pretty easy to pick. And then we get into photography. So photography for me was another hard category to like go through and choose from. There's so many amazing photographers out there. Some were like $10,000 and up that I reached out to, and then there was like mid-range ones where it's like 5,000 to like 8,000, and then like 3,000 and less. So lots of ranges for photography. I want something just very timeless, classic, but also like the reception photos like need to be fun and timeless too. And I feel like with some of the photographers that I was reaching out to, I would only get like really good bridal portraits and family portraits, but then like the reception photos were like eh. But finally I found a photographer. I love her so much. She's literally the sweetest person. I only talked to her once for like a consult call. Honestly, fell in love with her. I loved her photography style, and she gave me everything that I was looking for at an amazing cost. So decided to go with her, and we're so excited about it. We're gonna be doing a mood board together. I'm gonna be sending her a photo inspo that I find on Pinterest and TikTok. She's gonna send me a questionnaire like closer to the wedding date. And I'm gonna give her like all the details in that. And then, oh, she's gonna create a shot list. So that's all to do with photography. All right, you guys, that is everything that I have planned so far for our wedding. Like I said, everybody's planning at different paces. So if you're also a June 2024 bride, don't feel like you're way behind, because I feel like ahead of it. And I've had a long time to think about wedding planning stuff and what I want and everything that I'm envisioning. So I was just ready to get going. So yeah, I'm feeling really good. Next up on the list is reaching out to florists. I'm a little nervous about reaching out to florists because I've seen like crazy quotes from TikTok. But I talked to my mom recently and she was like, I'm not worried about it, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, all right, that makes me feel a little bit better that she's not worried about it. That's the next thing. And then also wedding dress shopping, duh, the main event. I'm not gonna try on wedding dresses, I think, until May or June. I kind of want it to be like within the season. My friend gave me a tip, my coworker. She's also wedding planning, so it's been so fun to have a wedding planning buddy to like talk about ideas with and just bounce back and forth with things. But she gave me a tip where she was like, I'm probably not gonna try on wedding dresses until like a month out, or not a month out, like 12 to 13 months out from my wedding, just so it's like I'm in the season. I can feel like how it's gonna feel like next year, stuff like that. And honestly, like I feel like a year out is like a good amount of time to wedding dress shop. I didn't want it to be like too early where I'm like, do I regret this dress, like getting this dress? So I think the year out mark is pretty good. I have ideas of what I want to wear, but obviously you never know. People have always told me like the dress that I chose was something that I wasn't expecting I'd like or envisioned at all. So I'm honestly going in with an open mind, but I do want to try on like this specific style that I'm envisioning just to see if it'll look good on me. And yeah, we're gonna go from there. And then also like the little details like hotel room blocks, hair and makeup, like if I'm gonna get somebody to do my makeup. To be honest, I'm on the fence about it because I enjoy doing my makeup. I think I'm good at doing my makeup. I've done it since I was little, like I danced my whole life, so I've had practice with makeup and I know my face really well. So I've also never had my makeup done by someone else. So that's the only reason why I'm hesitant on choosing a makeup artist, but I will probably do like makeup trials. Little things like that are still on my to-dos. And also the wedding invitation suite I'm so excited about. I'm actually going to be designing our whole wedding invitation suite. I feel like I've pulled inspo from all of the ones that I love, and I'm just gonna combine everything and design everything myself. So it's gonna be a fun DIY project with Christian. I'm probably gonna do it in like phases because I won't get into it right now because it's probably a whole video in itself. And that won't be till like later on in the year. That's basically everything that I've thought about so far and everything we've done so far. I hope you enjoyed this first video in this Wedding Wednesday series and thought it was helpful for any brides out there, anybody just almost getting engaged. I'm crossing my fingers for you. And I will see you guys in my next video. Make sure you subscribe and have your post notifications on. Love you guys. Bye.